Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday encounter in ordinary life as an SB. As you're fully aware, pretty much there are some series that I'm hoping to address to you all of certain topics that I feel is close to my heart to share with you all, and hopefully some of it will be an enlightenment along the way sort of thing. I just thank you for some of the ones that has been giving me positive feedback so far. I've really appreciated it, even though sometimes I know it's kind of hard when some people want to drag you down and out of it, certain areas of comments and that. Regardless, like I said to myself, that these haters can just keep hating on me for what I'm maybe bringing out, because it could be bringing out some home truths about them, not me. If not the problem, they are obviously, and they need to deal with it in their own way, even if it's their choices, theirs. If they didn't want to hear it from me via voice of mouth, or even just on here on YouTube of what I'm addressing of these topics. In this one, hopefully what I'm addressing to you all right now is the era of social shaming and passing judgment, which is basically about cyberbullying. Pretty much, I'm going to just hopefully touch briefly about it, because it brought to my attention that many people tend to, judge or pass judgment or assuming that about certain things that, of what goes on in social media versus YouTube versus Facebook, Twitter, whatever, that won't remain there all the same. But I feel in my heart that, what's been said or done, or even, taken off via pictures, can actually do more damage than good. But many people need to realise that, but then again, that's their way of thinking, again, their opinions and whatever else. I have my own opinions, they have theirs, trying to respect theirs, and hopefully they can respect mine. Regardless, I'm just here to help people and engage with people in a way that hopefully will make them feel more safer and not feel as if they're judged, however, regardless what they're facing, because everyone needs support once in a while, regardless if some people are maybe either A, in denial of it, or B, that they just feel that, they just want to drag us down with it, regardless what it may be. Anyway, in further ado, as I said, this topic, the era of social shaming and passing judgment, cyberbullying begins. As we know, basically, cyberbullying is not okay. Well, in my books, it's not, because sometimes, bullying starts, obviously, first and foremost, face-to-face with the person, be it, for example, that when it comes down to the face-to-face contact with people, that some of these people that are the bullies, pretty much that's facing the victims, are the weak ones. They tend to pass the judgment. They're the insecure, the gutless, jealous people. Even though some of the people that are becoming victims, I hate using that term, but that's true, that basically, with these victims, they probably got something that they're not God of, obviously, or they've got something going on in their lives, and they feel that it's okay just to pass judgment, or even just give them a hard beating about whatever's going on. Sometimes with this bullying, obviously, before at least that cyberbullying stage, sometimes is also, words that are verbal. And as we know, basically, with cyberbullying, it can lead to the point that after, writing on the computer, written words, be it whatever, it can be read in a different degree from people, because obviously how we say it and what we say pretty much can differentiate between the two. As we know, though, however, when it comes down to cyberbullying, it can be on the social media spots, be it Facebook, Twitter, and the like, as we know. And sometimes I've noticed that 9 times out of 10, after watching a few YouTube famous people, that I noticed that, yes, they get cyberbullied a lot based on their differences, be it on their gender, be it race, be it on their beliefs, be it on whatever it may be, sort of thing. And sometimes some people that comes about with the cyberbullying, they're trolling on the other people's sites, basically just to make themselves feel good and big and, proud and stuff. We know that the net is a powerful tool to build us or tear us down, however, the choice is ours. And I noticed that in this day and age, though, the net now is becoming so powerful and so strong of certain things, be it whatever it may be, and sometimes, when we say it, sometimes we can't put it back in our mouths, on that screen of ours. Obviously, it's really saddening, how it is. As we know, but however, when it comes down to cyberbullying, there can be nasty comments, and could be people that we know or don't know behind the scenes of that computer, who knows, but sometimes we should be able to differentiate who it is behind that screen, whoever it may be, by just maybe ciphering out who's that writing style, if we know them long enough, however. Or someone we once knew, however, does come into this picture. You know, you can sometimes tell who's real and their character is or personality or in a person pretty much when it comes down to maybe writing it, and also in the visual sense. You know, some people may say, for example, too fat for these comments, or you should kill yourself, you should hang yourself, nobody wants you, nobody loves you, you know, trying to put all these self-doubt, self-hopes, you know, of that inside our heads when they're typing away, trolling on our page or whatever they make it be, you know, you should be raped, you don't belong here. These are just some of the comments that I read and see mainly every day from some people, you know, that has, you know, said about it, you know, and I have come to that part of my life now also that, you know, many people do try to come onto my page and say some nasty stuff, and I try not to let it hurt me in a way, but then again, sometimes it's hard because, you know, me being that sensitive person that I feel things so deeply regardless of what it may be, and sometimes many people may think I'm just stir crazy or whatever, it's all in her head, you know, like that song, it's all in my head, whatever, you know. Anyway, everyone are so quick to judge or pass judgment onto others, as I said before. You know, no matter who and what they are. People who bully others will shift into the, excuse me folks, I'm just trying to read my writing. If roles with this judge and jury executioner all at once. So it's like about 3 roles there, I think. The witness, judge and jury. Or shall we say 4, executioner, all at once, or just one step at a time for a quick flick of a text or quick flick of a typing episode that they do. You know, we need to remember everything we may say or do or post can be remained on the net for life. It's depending on what we decide to say and do, or even, like I say, do these, what we say on these videos is up to us. Facebook, in which obviously, Facebook, we know and love dearly, of our social networking site, and love is a place of happiness and home people who come into our pages, and again, and no sort of judging others, harsh, you know, judging others. I'm not here to seek out revenge or will be judging whatever the case may be, because I know for a second that I'm held accountable for what I say and do, like anyone else, based on their choices and opinions and whatever else it may be. You know, we also need to be mindful of how we represent ourselves to others online, and our behaviour on social media reflects who and what we are, and people will assume and gorge onto these thoughts and feelings of these people until they really meet us in life, you know. Bets, we've got to remember also when it comes down to these day and age about basically what we say and do, obviously, like they say now that with Facebook, especially now, our future employers will be watching that page or take up the page of ours and think that, you know, that could be the way they are all the time. But yet, you know, what they see on the pictures. Pictures says 1,000 words if they go through our pictures and whatever it may be. Images and everything as well as so I said it all the time. But the personality does, however, and the character will remain to stay, hopefully. Gossiping and slandering people. I notice that sometimes that, yeah, okay, social media sites, be it Facebook, Twitter, Skype, or whatever we use as our application to talk to people. Sometimes it can be good to talk to people, and then it comes to the point that, you know, we tend to maybe accidentally, or not accidentally, but we purposely say something all in one hit of what we say, and then it just goes on a ball of fire to others around us. You know, some people doesn't know how to keep their mouth shut, you know, regardless if you're trying to seek out to just one person you think you love and care about, you know, about this type of age of what's going on. This is a good question I would like to ask you. Are we doing more damage than good while we're actually on these social media sites or chatting sites, what have you? Online bullying can sap out or lower our self-esteem. But we've got to remember also, when I said about the slandering and that and gossiping of people, are we actually building them up, you know, blessing them or cursing them? That again can lead to suicide and depression of this, you know, online bullying. And as an easy way out is they, the victims, tend to, as I said, self-doubt about their image, self-doubt about how they think, self-doubt about how they act and everything else around it. To me, this is an epidemic also, like it is with suicide, as I've mentioned so many times before. Even though, like I said, some of these topics I'm going to bring is not going to be really agreeable to some, or it could be touchy, but I have to address these as some forewarning somehow, or just address it to you all as an awareness and understanding of it all, so you guys know the signs, basically, be it if it's depression, suicide, and all these topics. So please bear with me, guys. Why do I think that it's an epidemic? Well, that's that you're probably going to question me on that. Well, for starters, as we know, back in the 90s and also probably in the 80s or somewhere even further along in the years before that, we know that some of these topics that have been bringing about depression and that weren't quite commonly known until probably in the late 80s, 90s, and that many people think that, okay, suicide is something along those lines is a copycat syndrome. No matter what it may be, you know, I believe that we should be able to reach out to people in the right manner if people just tend to stop judging and criticizing others and whatever the case may be. Okay, while I'm sharing this, you can laugh, point the finger, blame me, or blame others around you that you think that you're not the problem when it comes down to doing all this trolling of comments and whatever. It's got to stop, however, somehow. You need to realize that, yes, you guys are the problem, even though that the ones that you're pointing the finger at and blaming, or pointing the finger at and trolling with these words and stuff, does take an effect on people, self-esteem and that, and that's pretty much, we need to try and stop it one way or another, you know. As I said so many times before, words can hurt, and also labels, if you do give a label out to people around you, got to remember that it needs to be stopped. We shouldn't be able to let these words define us, however. We need to think before we speak to others, however. Maybe some of these you find that these are games for you, but not for others. Some people has an attitude problem that needs to be addressed and toned down the tone and language that they use, but they do know the damage that it's causing and would be done. Do they know of the circumstances, however, that goes along with it? Do you reap what you say, you know, and regrets to what you say and do, you know? Cyberbullying can cause the victim to be alone and isolated, as well as bullying alone, as they feel others are against them and that their so-called friends turn their back on them. Okay, as I watched the movie, basically, about cyberbullying, a 17-year-old girl named Taylor endured cyberbullying and harassment after signing up to a social networking site used by students at her school. And the way it ended up, Taylor was also on the brink of suicide, and her mother is doing anything she can to support and help her daughter to get out of it, and trying to put a stop in America, putting a code of conduct to it. That alone was not much, because of the freedom of speech, however, is allowed to be done at that stage. Taylor then gets help through a support group of people to talk about their life about being bullied online. Why should we get even for revenge, name calling them names, you know? This makes the problem worse, not better. We need to make a stand and tell our stories. Tips on this, however, I'll quickly say, when it comes down to cyberbullying, if you have to block the person, be it on social media, texting or whatever, remove them off your list of contacts, you know, be it email and that. Talk to someone, maybe see if the police may get involved, who knows, whatnot. You know, face your fears and stand up to your fears, face the bullies and tackle your problems head on, hopefully, and you'll be fine. Well, that ends basically cyberbullying, or that topic of the era of social shaming and judgment. Please like, comment, subscribe on my channel. Just feel free to actually comment in my SB Answers All, you know, even if you just feel to talk to someone to talk to. I'm there, hopefully. Even if I am not there, you know, just leave a little private message and I'll be able to hopefully pick it up and read. You know, I'm here to support and guide others. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.